So here's what's blooming in my neighborhood in Michigan. It's irises. And we have a purple one here and like a reddish one on the left and these bright, bright purple ones on the right. More of the burgundy and pink ones with a yellow middle. And these bright, bright purple. This yard where they grow is so beautiful. They're all over the place. And then we have some chives that are in bloom. There are some tulips in the forefront there. I'm not sure what these are called, but they're beautiful. They're so bright and pink. And of course, the columbine. Pink. Hello. I thought we could look at the June 2022 Better Homes and Gardens with somebody we might expect to see on a People magazine, Harry Styles, but he's on Better Homes and Gardens, and he is going to talk about, well, he shares what makes him feel at home. We'll look through the whole magazine. That's on page 70. It's after the halfway point, so it will take us a little while to get there. This is available in stores now, though, if you want to read the whole article, and it is very extensive. Welcome to Harry's house, and this is photographed by Tim Walker. Look at his beautiful nails, and there's one of his many tattoos, and he has a beautiful orange beaded necklace on. We all know these magazines have a lot of ads, but these are very nice pieces of furniture. Dave and Jenny, and Walmart sells this Dave and Jenny Mars collection. It's for Better Homes and Gardens. There's our table of contents, what we're going to see. We've seen this ad before. This is for a microbiome, new Purina 1 food. The letter from the editor. The Zyrtec ad. This poor couple is getting capsized because this guy didn't take his Zyrtec. When your allergies are out of control, one sneeze can rock the boat, it says. And if you go to bhg.com, they have several little items of interest. And one of them is a no-dig garden where they talk about layering organic matter and compost, which might be the same thing in some cases, to make the ground, to reintroduce nutrients into the ground. Might make easier digging. I don't know about no dig. And look at that beautiful plate using the fresh produce of the season. They say down here, celebrate Juneteenth, which they talk about later in the magazine too. But they have a food editor, Jamila Robinson, and she has a piece on their website, Juneteenth Idea, about different ways to celebrate the holiday in your family and friends. And then it says here, they have a new YouTube series, and it takes you on tours of tiny houses. That sounds cool, and I know people, and I mean, that's a big thing now. I don't see any around me. No, I take that back. There are some in Detroit that they've built. But I'll be honest with you. It seems like people, okay, I'm just going to say, it seems like people just want to build huge houses. But I think there's an interest in tiny houses. I'm a less is more person, but, and look at this. Doesn't that look good? A stand-up sauce for standout drinks. Torani. It's good. That's dark chocolate. And here are a bunch of different dates in June. June 14th is Flag Day. They remind us that if you choose to display your flag still at night, that it should be lit. You can read about flag etiquette on the internet if you choose to put our flag up and follow the etiquette. Juneteenth is also the June 19th, so that's also Father's Day this year. And they give a little tip here. I knew this, but you might not. Is to clean your grill with a little bit of leftover aluminum foil that you might wad up in a bowl. And it works. And then it says alternatively, if it's that bad, just lay it on the grill if the grill is that dirty. But remember, maybe poke a couple holes in the foil. June 4th is Trails Day. June 9th is Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. And June 11th is Rosé Day. And they do have a little article, well, a little piece in this with some nice pictures on different things to make with rosé wine. June 21st is the summer solstice. What's this? Make Change Month. And it says, okay, we made up that name, but June does mark observances for many great causes. Pollinators, LGBTQ pride, and PTSD awareness, to name a few. And they have the rainbow flag. And June 3rd, that's coming up, Bicycle Day. I didn't know that. Here's a, I don't think this is new, but Starbucks makes, or Starkist makes chicken in a pouch too, just like they make tuna. 11 grams of protein. That's buffalo style. Tear, eat, explore. And they're eating at camping. Look, they're in a tent with a beautiful vista in the background. And that's a good idea because they're sealed tight. You know, if you're way out in the wilderness, you have to hang your food up however many feet away from you so a bear doesn't come eat you, or whatever doesn't come get you. That's sealed. You'd have to do something with the garbage though. And these are different things for Father's Day, for the dad who has it all. And this is compiled by Jill Martin, and she's on Steals and Deals on NBC. So they have some earbuds here, an Airfly Duo, an engraved whiskey glass. This is cool. It's a roll-up. You roll it up to keep things in it, but there's a charger hooked to it for the energized pop. It is a leather organizer roll-up, but it's a charger too. markandgraham.com. Monogrammed socks. What's this? For the man with an edge, the gifted groomer kit. For my notable pops, triple thick executive flat note cards. And that's from a stationery shop. Here's a little putter, par 3 plus putting green. And this, I thought this was so funny, is a meat card. It's personalized beef jerky. manlymanco.com. I mean, that would be a very unique gift. That's a new one on me. For the dad on the move, packing cubes. There's a knife sharpener. That's nice. For the cheesy dad, Jasper Hill farm cheese tasting box. And here is a meat branding iron. And a magnetic wristband tool belt. Oh, that is really cool. You could never lose track of all your little nuts and bolts as you're fixing things. And an air tag, because I'd never tell you that I'm lost. I've seen this ad before. Look at that sweet little babe there. Stronger bonds for softer snuggles. And here are all these different beautiful little inflatable pools. They make so many different kinds now. And they give some tips on where to put it and how to keep it clean, keep the leaves out of it, first of all, so the muck doesn't start growing. But they're so colorful and beautiful. I love that one. Where do you get it? mylifeshop.com. I don't know what this hat is for, but that guy sure has a cool outfit on, doesn't he? Look at that. And his nails are painted. I can't get over these pools. Fresh and fruity. They have let's lift it up a little bit. What does that say? Fun Boy. Oh, it is a Malibu Barbie Dream Kiddie Pool. That is cool. And then these are from Walmart, these towels. And a cooler. Citrus drink stirrers. And that's an acrylic drinking glass in pink, bamboo dinner plate, and a Sunny Oranges tray. Society6.com. So that's the fresh and fruity. And this is cool as a cucumber. They just have a basic pool, but it's 65 inches wide, and it's $100. Here's a holiday cooler bag in crew navy stripe. That's nice. Silicone cocktail straws. Marin blue tile melamine salad plate. And this is from Better Homes and Gardens, so it's Walmart, and they're ribbed acrylic tumblers, soft smoked. This is a reversible cabana striped beach towel, and that's $12 at Target. The last one they have is Taste of the Tropics. Look at that pool. It's the Moroccan Dream. And that's a beach cooler. That's a melamine tray. It's bamboo too. These are from Pottery Barn. These acrylic glasses. And these towels are from Walmart. And another salad plate. So they have little themes, maybe for a little beach party in your little inflatable pool. That Prilosec. And this is their little throwback section that they have. It says, when it comes to hosting parties, we said in 1971, don't wait. Excuses make recluses. That's funny. That's in quotes. Get inspired with one of these party prompts from the past. So things that might prompt you to actually take the plunge and have a party. 1934, it says future forecasts. This was their pick for graduation parties. Have grads draw from your crystal bowl of futures, filled with small wrapped tokens, each a symbol of interesting future work or hobbies. 1947, radio party. Today, we're more likely to gather around a screen than a radio, but you can still host a party the next time an anticipated new release starts streaming. You could. There's bound to be lively discussion. And it says, when it becomes heated, stop the refreshments. 1952, come as you are. Set a relaxed tone with the invite. Glue a small mirror to a card with a note that says, quote, dress like this. 1970, Little Pirates Party. When guests arrive, outfit them with felt eye patches and cardboard cutlasses. A sword, I guess that means. Hand over a treasure map with authentically singed edges. So you would have to burn a little bit of paper on the edge and set them off in pursuit of a pre-buried treasure chest filled with little goodies. That's a cute idea. 1977, an après event. A party that piggybacks another event is easier to manage. And that's true, like having a party after a play or maybe a sports game. 1982, the Progressive Outdoor Dinner. And it says they first pitched this idea 40 years ago. This outdoor gathering seems perfectly au courant. Plan the menu, we said, to be made ahead, then hop from yard to yard. And in 1994, Party with a Purpose. And a write-in reader idea this came from. Twice a year, the neighborhood throws a party for a cause. The party is a potluck meal where everyone prepares a dish and brings non-perishable goods to a local shelter. And here they're celebrating barbecues through the years. We have our Trojan Horse Lunchables ad. I think that's so cute. Oh, we have a beauty section. So this is talking about SPF in all of our different things we might put on our skin. And some of their suggestions. Here's from, I don't know if it's IT or IT Cosmetics. Your Skin But Better CC Cream. That's Nude Glow SPF 40. $42. Tower 28. Sunny Days SPF 30. That's $30. Elf Cosmetics, that is a Camo CC Cream. SPF 30, and that's $15. So we have some different price ranges here. Then we have something from Honest, that's $24, and that is a CCC tinted moisturizer. And this is Ilia, maybe? How much is it? It's $48, so that's the most expensive. That is a skin tint. It is a super serum skin tint, SPF 40. It says makeup with sunscreen sounds like the ultimate multitasking move. The biggest limitation with SPF and makeup is that people don't use makeup the same way they use sunscreen. There's that Friskies hat. My cat would love that. She's a gravy lover. She's getting old though. She hardly has any teeth. Here's some of their beauty tips for the talking about using sunscreen. Start with a lotion. The broad spectrum sunscreen in your makeup would work solo if you used enough of it, but therein lies the problem. To get adequate protection, the rule of thumb for the face and neck is a nickel-sized amount. And if you were to do that with makeup, you might look like you're in a Halloween costume, this lady says. Treat makeup as extra is number 2. High levels of sunscreen filters can affect the stability, texture, and shade range of makeup, which is why the SPF in some makeup products is low. But fortunately, they are developing new technology. So after that, you need to touch up. Sunscreen should be reapplied every 2 hours. How can you do that without ruining your makeup? Well, sheer or tinted sunscreen powders are a good solution for touch-ups and freshening your face. And this dermatologist, Anna Chen, says, I always say make a moisturizer with SPF a habit, like brushing your teeth, something you do daily. Then you can add whatever makeup routine on top of that. And here are some more daily SPF picks that range in price. Ooh, look at those. That's Magnum Mini. Looks good. This home section is talking about this beautiful screened-in porch that this person, I think they live in Georgia, made. Yes, Atlanta. We can see a picture of the outside in a minute. Look at her beautiful furniture. That's cool. So there's the door, and look at how tall we'll see what it looks like from the outside, but look at that light. It says, after a day digging in flower beds, the couple eats at the mid-century reproduction dining table and chairs. Well, it's beautiful nonetheless, isn't it? This person is Susie Prince that created this. She painted her concrete floor, which is very practical. The porch is happy and bright with nature visible everywhere. No kidding, it's beautiful. Let's take a look at more of that. There's a Depixent ad. See, that tall. That's why it looks so tall. It looks like they live in the forest. This is our de-stress zone nearly year-round. We essentially doubled our home's dining and living space by adding it. That's very nice. They added that on. My home has a porch in the back because I live in an old house. It's very small. And it has a walkout balcony on the top, but my neighbors use theirs. I don't trust it. Let's just put it that way. I might put a plant out there, but it's very little anyway. It's cute. So she designed the mid-century modern-inspired structure with a shed roof that rises to 12 feet. Yes, it is very tall. It extends our views since the yard goes uphill. That's what it looked like before. And that's what it looks like on ground level. Very nice. This ceiling fan is from Better Homes and Gardens, from Walmart, $119. And there's the pendant light. I don't know if it's the same one they have. That's from build.com. A side table and a coffee table, an area rug. And they're calling this a chat set. Isn't that cute? And that's from walmart.com too. Better Homes and Gardens edition. Look at these two little, they're beautiful. Royal Canin. Support your kitten in every stage. Ooh, look at this. Material World. See how one designer's skillful mix of earthy materials makes her inland home look and feel like a walk on the beach. Dark hues, coffee and deep water blue balance lighter tones. Natural fibers like sisal and rattan bring in light to medium shades of brown. Look at all these different beautiful things. They have their own real estate company. Better Homes and Gardens does too. They are far-reaching. Let's see some of these elements in this home. Oh, isn't it nice? White oak wood beams. They echo the floors with a light sandy color and exposed green. What's that thing? Look at that. It's like a tripod, maybe a planter. It's a little table. It's like a log. They probably made it. They have grass cloth wallpaper in a rich marine blue, and it gives the palette a sophisticated depth. It sure does. That's very pretty. They have shiplap there, painted white, and it adds texture and visual interest. And then the fireplace around is stucco, and it's in pewter. It's a pewter hue. And a smooth, water-worn stone-like finish. And that acts as an anchor, they say. There's some rattan, tweedy fabric, and dark wood. It's very nice. The fireplace surround harkens to architecture in seaside towns. The light fixture, I didn't even notice it up there. And this is their quote. It feels like a cloud. It does. Look at that. I didn't even notice it up there. There's so much to look at. It's beautiful. And now they say cocoon effect. They made like a little library. So it says it's important for your home to ground you in the chaos of everyday life. There's a lot going on here. The beautiful couch. And look at that chair. This is Chantilly Lace by Benjamin Moore. And Railings by Farrow and Ball. That's that color. They have leather, aged brass, and caning. See the caning in the chair? A lot of different elements. And that is a soft blue-black, they're calling it. Is that a sunsetter ad? We have some more. Natural elements. A home should feel really, really good and warm and inviting. There's a lot of subtle, very pretty things going on in this picture. Look at the wallpaper, first of all. The jute and then the wood. Look at the different chairs that they have. And then they have, there comes a motorcycle or something. They have some wood on the table. And then they have these beautiful cream vases. That's very nice. A spectrum of wood shades, pale driftwood, medium and dark finishes on seating is a mix that really works, and it does. Look at these chairs. It's very nice. So this is the focal point of that dining room. It's made of twisted jute. Look at all these puppies and kittens. 2 kittens, 2 puppies. Dog chow ads. Work balance. The black matte metal dining table up here is used as a desk in the home office, which is tucked into a landing upstairs. Look at that beautiful plant. They have linen, metal, and wax cloth as the textures in this. I like a lot of different layers dressing a bed. I think they make it feel sophisticated and luxurious, and that's true. You see that a lot in these magazines or in catalogs. Just a lot of stuff on the bed. That is a playroom. It says the playroom sofa is a darker blue linen dyed spills. And they have a pile of pillows there. Everything's very muted, but it all matches. There's a key true to add. It's long. A lot of information here. Oh, let's look at this. Upward mobility. Maximize your garden's vertical space and its dramatic potential by potting up a quick growing climbing plant. Look at these beautiful towers. This is star jasmine, and that is a very sweet smelling plant that you could try. And it has dark green foliage. And they have different things planted. Black mondo grass and purple Swedish ivy. And then they have this one. Let your style guide your choice of structure. Tutors, Tuters, like this, look especially romantic. Maybe it's 2 tiers, I don't know. Look at that. They made this It says, make your own sturdy trellis by nailing 1-inch to 2-inch slats on 2 4x4 boards. Isn't that beautiful? And these little yellow things, it says when privacy is called for, turn to golden hops. I've never heard of that, but that's what they are. The vine grows vigorously and is covered with spicy smelling conical flowers in the fall. Oh, look at that one. So this is for if you want to add a lot of flowers. In full bloom, bring on the cheer with top to bottom flowers. Large mandevilla blossoms evoke the tropics and are matched in exuberance by petunias. I'm not going to say this right, but calabrachoa and euphorbia. I know those are the petunias. And then it says, as this vine grows, weave it through the middle of the trellis for a full look. And this thrives in zones 9 to 11. And if you live in another zone, it says you can bring it inside in the winter to keep it alive. Or you could try at least. If you wanted to try any of these, if you made a trellis, or maybe you bought one, or maybe you picked one out of somebody's garbage, I don't know. And this is a common thing I see when people are maybe throwing stuff out and when they're cleaning their garage. This is what I would say you should plant: beans. They grow fast. What are these? These are purple beans, royal burgundy, but you could buy green beans and probably plant the beans inside the pods. They're very easy to grow. They might not get a flower or anything for you, but something would grow, and it would be a pretty instantaneous success if you have heat and water. But it says, plant bead seedlings about 4 inches apart to give them room to grow. That would be a good thing for a beginner. And here's their little section, I did it. And they feature somebody, in this case it's this young lady here, and she made something. Let's take a look at what she made. She's a DIY blogger, first of all, and her name's Nicole Pancop. But she used her engineering background and her problem-solving skills, plus her creativity, to make this plate rack that suits her needs. The shelves and rails were cut from 1x3 pine. Oh, that plate says, "You're a mess." You're not, Nicole. Too hard on yourself. The baseboard provided a natural spot to mount the bottom shelf. That's really beautiful. Then they'll show how she did it. Valspar, let's chip away at your list. This is a little reminder to me that I'm supposed to be painting a garage door and not making a video, but you know what? I got to be in the right mindset. It will get done, I think. But this is what she did. I'm all about symmetry, Nicole says. She made sure the thickness of the rails matched that of the shelves, creating a floating effect. Oh, that is really cool. She installed 1x3 pine along the edge of the tile backsplash above the counter and then on the peninsula base. So there's her tile. Made an edge. She planned the shiplap placement, allowing for 2 matching narrower pieces on the outside edges, then installed the shiplap from left to right. She had to cut out light switches. I wouldn't like that. but she had to. What are you going to do? And then she spackled the nail holes and caulked the seams. And it looks great. Painted with a small roller, and then made the shelves. She did all this when she was knee-deep in a bathroom renovation, and she said she wanted a quick weekend project. And she says that it took her about 3 days. And it cost $150 for lumber, shiplap, and the paint stain, and then a sealer. Here's her advice. If you break down a project into small steps, it will make the project not only more manageable, but more enjoyable as well. That's good advice. It's good advice not only for a DIY project, but maybe anything. Here's our young lady advertising the steroid cream Absolura. Oh, look at that. I looked through this before, and I just think this is so pretty. Angela Belt, personal space. So in last month's issue, which I have, but I never did a video on, we toured the upgrades that she made in the living spaces of her first home. I'll have to take a look at that other one. Here she shows us how she layered comfort and beauty upstairs, and says, dare to add drama. She's got a lot going on here. I wouldn't necessarily call it dramatic. Well, maybe, but it's certainly beautiful and different. Wallpaper on one wall. Beautiful bed. And then look at this. This is, this might be a Cape Cod house, so she's got a window there. And she put a faux, F-A-U-X, so fake grass ceiling there, and then she hung these plants. And on the next page, maybe, that's what it looked like before. Hats off to you, Angela. That is very creative, and it's very pretty. And she made a little, okay, she's coming. The picture of her in that little nook is coming. This is her credenza. This was before. It says this is something that she has. Maybe it's something from her family, or I certainly have kind of anchoring pieces of furniture. That's very beautiful and practical, but look at the beautiful artwork that she put around it. And here she is. She's meditating in that spot. She made a little spot for herself, and it's beautiful. And then she only has one working bath in her house, so she reconfigured it with all different storage ideas for makeup and toiletries. Okay, so this is the before picture on this. And this is it her husband or her partner? I don't know. Or maybe it's her friend. Oh, it's somebody. It's this person. This is what it looked like before. And they made this. Look at those beautiful shelves. And they wanted dark paint. For this office. That was this person's request. Let's look at the colors. This is Deep Dive by Claire. O Green, OH Green by Claire Paint. And this one, this is this, Soot. It's called Soot. It's her husband. My husband wanted dark walls. I knew I read that somewhere. That's what she's saying. But that is by Benjamin Moore. I mean, are they running out of names for paint? But it is. It's Soot. I don't know about that. Then and Now. This is a food section. I've never seen this before. It's eggs made in jars. And you can make all different, you could put whatever you wanted in there. They've got mushrooms, bacon, spinach. And we're going to look at the recipe. It's in the back, but In the earliest issues of our magazine, we showed families gathered in cheerful kitchen nooks for the morning meal. We're happy to report that the family breakfast table is back. These are, it says that you can make these in mason jars, and it's like scrambled eggs. We'll look at the recipe. It's a little more complicated than I thought. Let's just put it that way. We'll read how to do it. They're cute, and it's a good idea, and they're single serving, and it's saying use a half-pint oven-safe vessel, a wide or narrow mouth canning jar, which, you can find jars everywhere, but we'll see the recipe. You have to make them in put them in a certain kind of baking dish filled with water and then bake them. It just seemed it's not overly complicated, but then the other thing is that it is summer, and I don't know if it's hot in your house. You got to wonder if you want to turn the oven on. So this is a kind of a throwback then. The Better Homes and Gardens breakfast menu. Well, what do you think it is? Eggs, bacon, pancakes, hash browns, and coffee. And here are the spotlights, their favorite highlights. Tableside toast. This is from September 1929. Family breakfast was a sit-down event when toasters first appeared. Making toast at the table called for creative ways to run cords to electrical outlets. So the editors wrote, skilled electricians can pierce even the finest rugs without injuring them. I don't know about that. They have 100 years of waffles, and they talk about all the different things they've stirred into waffles. Poppy seeds, crushed cornflakes, nuts, oats, peanut butter. And the question was always, will it waffle? Here we see somebody ladling that batter into a waffle iron, which is, I've always found them very hard to clean. Drink your breakfast, and they're not talking about mimosas, they say. But for the non-breakfast eaters and teens on the grow, they offered their first smoothie in October 1960, and here's the recipe. A ripe banana, vanilla ice cream, evaporated milk, and orange juice. So how could that not be good? And look at this. I wish I could get my hands on this publication. This was in the 50s, so March 1958. And look at that elaborate spread. And it featured Eiffel Tower eggs. And it was a fluffy whipped egg, white, spiked with Tabasco, layered with devil ham, and piled sky high into little white ramekins. I think it's that. Oh, very fancy. It's this right bacon ad. They're not changing a thing. I've seen that a few times. And I'm also currently not buying bacon because it's too expensive, and I don't know. We're better off without it. That's just my opinion. But look at this. This is a baba ganoush bowl, and it looks good. And they're just using store-bought baba ganoush, which is a Mediterranean puree with roasted eggplant, tahini, lemon, garlic, and herbs, and I do like it. And they have romaine lettuce, an English cucumber, radishes, grape or cherry tomatoes, a lemon, feta cheese, Kalamata olives, and pita chips. And that looks very healthy and good. And this too. And now, these are winners in my book. A 7-layer chicken burrito, protein packed. And there's refried beans in it. That's one of the layer. Chipotle chilies and adobo sauce, the tortillas, shredded chicken, salsa, guacamole, sour cream, tomato, shredded spinach, Now that's adding some nutrition. Shredded cheese. They're saying cheddar. You could put a lot of different cheeses in that, and black olives. I taste real milk, real delicious, and it is. Ooh, look at those. Pea and artichoke toast. And it says, run a veggie peeler down the length of a carrot to make long ribbons. Marinated artichoke hearts, frozen peas, red wine vinegar, cannelli beans, I don't know how to say that, cannelli beans, a can of them, fresh oregano, country bread, prosciutto, and a carrot. Isn't that looking good? Look at that. That's made with Kerrygold butter, made with milk from the grass-fed cows that graze on lush pastures of Ireland. Doesn't that look good? A cup of coffee. This is a smoked trout potato salad. And it says, we tested with American style, which means a mayo-based potato salad, but with a vinegar-forward German style, it would also be delicious too, if you wanted to do the vinegar style. They're using an English cucumber in this too, a shallot, fresh dill, red wine vinegar, mixed salad greens, just deli potato salad. They didn't even make that. And smoked trout, 2 8-ounce packages. That would get devoured in my house. It all would. It's a nice, as would this sandwich, Hillshire Farm. Oh, here's our Harry Styles article. Finding Home. On his new album, Harry Styles explores themes of belonging, peace, and discovering domestic bliss wherever you can find it. And it says, reading it, Styles has spent the last few years on a quest to enjoy things for what they are, and here he is with a breakfast tray and a different necklace on this time. And look at that beautiful smile. Beautiful branch of something. And he likes to swim, it says. Swimming is good for living in the moment. It's hard to think about anything else when you're struggling to keep breathing. And he says, that's the thing with a swim. It's the one thing you will never regret. Look at that beautiful morning light coming in here. There's a little notation about where they shot these photographs. He was photographed in the Cotswold home of Catherine and John. Let me get the name right. There's a plane going by. Catherine and John Pawson in their Cotswold home. The light's coming in and it's casting a shadow on our lights here. And they're on the wall. It's Sunday afternoon here, and there are, it's very nice out, and people are out walking down my street and driving motorcycles. And when I took a walk this morning, I saw at least one classic car. It's just that kind of day. It's beautiful out. So it's a little noisy. He talks a lot about his life in the pandemic. Look at these artful photos here. Beautiful. Styles came to see that COVID was out of his control and the lockdown. They talk a lot about the lockdown. And he just had to ride it out. He bubbled with a group of friends and for about 6 weeks did practically nothing. And here, doesn't look very comfortable. The very traditional English countryside boot, isn't it? I think everyone went through a big moment of self-reflection And I don't know if there's anything more navel-gazing than making an album. And then he has some fur trim on his coat here. Hope he didn't hurt his neck. Very handsome young man. Oh boy, now these pictures get a little revealing. He's got a lot of tattoos. I wonder how many. He's got his clothes hanging on an English countryside rustic fence here. I just want to make stuff that is right, that is fun in terms of the process, that I can be proud of for a long time. Look at these little skivvies he's got on here. I wonder if he's a vegetarian. He's very lean. And here he is, just having a pensive moment in the Cotswolds. And they talk a little bit about his love life. And it's a little like a couple steps above PG-13, let's just put it that way. And the article is long. And if you're a fan, get the magazine, you can read it. What does this say? My producer keeps asking me when I'm going to have my big breakdown. He said, laughing. I hope never. The most honest version I can think of is I didn't grow up in poverty by any means, but we didn't have much money. And I had an expectation of what I would achieve in life. I feel that everything else has been a bonus. And I am so lucky. That's a nice reflection coming from a young mouth of 20-something years old that he is. Here he is diving in. Just diving in a pond. Look at that beautiful photo. I realized that home feeling isn't something that you get from a house. It's more of an internal thing. Talks a little bit about intimacy and his, like I said, it goes there a little bit. I'll let you get the magazine and read it. Cocktails Uncorked. Look at these beautiful cocktails. Chardonnay, creamsicle punch. What makes it creamsicle-y? They put vanilla in it. And a lot of these drinks, it boils down to a few of them contain a simple syrup. That's what gives them their unique flavor. So this Chardonnay creamsicle punch is Chardonnay, 2 ounces, an ounce of vodka, 2 ounces of orange juice and clementine juice, and then they made a vanilla thyme syrup. And it's water, sugar, thyme, and a vanilla bean pod. And then they have a sprig of thyme there. Balance a light Chardonnay with vanilla, citrus, and a splash of vodka. This is a strawberry mule. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? They seem pretty simple. In a mule mug, muddle 3 halved or quartered strawberries with a ½ ounce of lime juice. Add 4 ounces of a medium-bodied wine, 2 ounces ginger beer, and ice. So no syrup making required for that one. You just have to smash up some strawberries. This is a rosé hibiscus spritz, and they've put in an herb there too. They've put in rosemary. Very pretty. So an ounce of gin, 2 ounces of dry rosé, and a ½ ounce of a rosé hibiscus syrup. Which, what are they doing with that? A cup of rosé, a cup of sugar, and a hibiscus tea bag. That's how you make the syrup. And then you're topping that off with spritzer, and if you happen to have some rosemary, you could put it in there. It sure looks pretty, doesn't it? Kind of. Oh, I thought there was a glare. It's not. It's the photo. So this is Jamie Henderson, Jayme, launched her blog, Holly and Flora. She's responsible for making these little beauties here. Very creative. This one's beautiful. It's a peach Friesling, little play on words. So this is chilled Riesling, dry or off dry, 2 ounces of fresh lemon juice, and an ounce of elderflower liqueur. You got to chill it all and then put it in a blender. And you're going to put in 2 cups of frozen peach slices and 2 cups of ice. And that looks good. And it says here, Jamie puts a stone fruit and Riesling spin on the nearly ubiquitous frosé, which is frozen rosé. And this is a family featuring their garden. Garden to grill. I get the feeling this was probably taken later in the season, unless, I mean, things have gotten, had time to grow. Let's just put it that way. I didn't catch where this is from, what state. Oh, it says that this they made a built-in bamboo seating. It's very nice. There's their doggy. Look at that little house that they have for their kids. It's very beautiful. It says, welding together steel and galvanized metal screens that Garrett, the father, built the garden cover, right? This. To keep pests and rogue chickens out of the leafy greens. And, oh, that's a chicken coop. There's their kitchen. Look at that beautiful bouquet there. I think they might live in Washington State. It says Seattle. Yes, this is Ellensburg, Washington. It says they formerly lived in Seattle. There's some lavender in the lemonade. And here's setting the table. I mean, this has to be in late summer, even though this is a June edition, because look at how big everything is. Kathy sets the table with her collection of mismatched floral china. The star is her great-grandmother's wedding pattern, but she adds in thrift shop finds. She cuts down on trips by carrying everything from hutch to table in a sturdy basket. And then they have a bench, and then they have some chairs. They have a salad dressing recipe, a tomato basil jam, and an oat crumble recipe. I'm going to try this. It seems easy enough with balsamic vinegar. I got some balsamic vinegar from someone who was moving. I mean, I got a lot of it, and I need to do something with it. This is balsamic vinegar, Dijon mustard, honey, garlic, salt and pepper, and olive oil. I mean, that's pretty easy. Look at this garden sink. And then they've put and this is covered, so I hope it's protected from the elements. When they redid their outdoor space, they ran potable water from the house, allowing them to use the sink for cleaning up and washing off their vegetables that they're going to eat out there. Instead of installing a drain, Kathy says, we just kept a bucket underneath, and we're very careful about using only garden-safe soap. And they suggest Dr. Bronner soap, but they have a hook here with their, it looks like apples, and just look at that, it's beautiful. and a beautiful bouquet. Very inspiring. This was a good tip too. I don't have these lights, but a lot of people that live around me have these. I think they're these exact same lights. But it says, to keep string lights taut, zip tie them to sturdier metal cables. And here we have the couple enjoying some quiet time alone. I see people in my neighborhood putting these like on, wrapping them around the electrical wires going to the house. Like, I just don't think it's a good idea, but, you know, what do I know? It says the fruit trees, grapevines, and raspberry bushes around the perimeter were well established when they moved in. And for her cutting garden, Kathy makes it a point of adding heirloom varieties. Yeah. I like the idea of old flowers for an old house. And one of her favorites is Johnny's selected seeds. I like that too when people do that. If, especially if you have things that originally grew at your house. I do here, and especially right now, I have peonies growing that I know have been here since, you know, the 50s when my house was built. And it just seems like they belong here. I've got quite a few things like that in my garden. And they'll be here as long as I'm here. And here it says, Happy lives here. Look at this beautiful contrast that they've created here. It's just beautiful. I think they had these built in. I'm assuming maybe it's a couple. Well, we'll see in the next pages. New built-ins flank the redesigned fireplace, where a vintage look gas insert was installed. Lovely. Happy is the adjective that popped up again and again when these California homeowners described the look they wanted. Exuberant patterns and joyful color in their kid-friendly, livable decor gave them exactly what they were looking for. It does look kid-friendly. It's really beautiful. It's casual looking, I think, and at the same time, just, I love that contrast. The black and I think it's black. Maybe they'll give the paint color. Look at the light. Remember that other picture we saw that they literally look like clouds? When you put up a big white light like that, it's cloud-like, I think. It's wonderful. And they have, oh, look at that herringbone flooring. And it's made of reclaimed oak. And this is by California Wood Floors, which is the homeowner's company. His company, Kevin Hussey. It's beautiful. And they have mismatched chairs too. Look at that beautiful bouquet of cut flowers. It's just lovely. They redid some of them. These are vintage chairs that the fabric wears out. There's nothing anybody can do with it if it's getting about it if it's getting used. And they just had them reupholstered. Look at this cute little area for the kids. This was a 1909 craftsman home. And it's in the center of San Francisco. So they outlined it with a desk for homework and a soft rug and floor pillows on the concrete floor for playtime. A console and cabinets provide storage that was lacking in the 1900s home. Look at that. There's a lot of storage there. When you live in an old house, you realize that people did not have the amount of stuff that we all have now. That's true in my home, and the closets are little. And, I mean, I'm talking little to non-existent. And this is a very creative solution. This drew my eye, but we'll get to that in a minute. Look at that. It's beautiful. So in the sunroom, which is this? I think, let's see. In the sunroom, a framed textile brings a large-scale art of a fraction of what a piece of contemporary art might cost. Look what they did, yes. They framed a textile, so it's a blanket or something. It's very nice. My cat would ruin that. My dog would too. Cherry red stools enliven the white kitchen. Yeah, it's pretty. And here's our family here and their children. Yellow door. Now, look at this wallpaper. I mean, that's making a statement. Josef Frank Paradisette wallpaper. And it's the powder room. And they're saying, and this is true because it's small, it's the perfect spot to try a design element with big personality. And then they say you really don't need much else. You don't. That's making a statement. I like it. Here's the kiddos' bedrooms here. Simple. And it says both kids had definite ideas about their decor. And they talk about preserving an old home's existing character and accenting it too. They ask this lady, what's your go-to makeover tool? It's paint. Paint is a dramatic and effective tool. A dark color pulls out and highlights details of the architecture. And it says, try wallpaper with a print or pattern that echoes the age of the house. I love it when people do that, but it's not for everybody. It's just not, and I get it. How do you mix modern and vintage? If you bring in period pieces, balance those with items that feel contemporary. And an easy way to add old house character is a newly installed chair rail and wainscoting will look original to the home even if they're not. And here's another great big white light pendant. And they do just look cloud-like. I can't help it thinking about it. And look at that wallpaper too. And this is probably Mom and Dad's room. We've seen these little lights, these little bedside lights in other magazines. They're very nice. Look at these beautiful salads. All you need is salad. Forget the bowl and pull out a platter for full meal salads with heaps of color and crunch. So the bowl's not big enough. You've got to get out a platter, and I think that's a good idea. And this is a Cajun chicken salad with cornbread croutons. Reinvent an entire southern supper into a robust salad with big brassy flavors. And it says kale and or spicy mustard greens are sturdy enough to support the Cajun spiced chicken, earthy black-eyed peas, and sweet cornbread croutons. And they put okra in it too. And a little bacon fat and mustard make the dressing. So that's definitely different. It looks good. And this is a Greek-inspired quinoa salad with a lemon feta dressing and some pita chips. Cucumber, tomato, onion, olive, and feta cheese. Quinoa, chickpeas, and spinach. Add the crunch, and they threw some spinach in there too. What's the next one? A kale falafel salad with toasted pine nuts and hummus. This is all using store-bought versions of Middle Eastern goodies. So the hummus provides the base, and they have kale, spinach, grape tomatoes, red onion, and fresh herbs. And then you put the falafel on still warm. And you can make it from scratch, or they say you can buy it from the freezer section. This is grilled salmon and romaine salad with oranges and olives. Ooh, they've grilled that lemon too. That's beautiful. There's a lot going on there. Fire up the grill and make a sunny salad full of contrasting flavors and textures for the warm grilled salmon fillets, and they lightly charred the romaine hearts, and then they put in the sweet oranges. I think this might be the last one. Marinated shrimp salad with creamy dill dressing. The person that I got the balsamic vinegar from also gave me some freeze-dried organic dill that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. I think I'll just end up making salad dressing with all of it. But this is frozen cooked shrimp and a 4-ingredient dressing, which is Greek yogurt, dill. Where's the dressing? Lemon juice, yogurt, dill, and salt. Well, that's easy enough. And then they have the recipes for the salads we saw before. Now, here's the how to make those eggs. It just seemed complicated. You're going to preheat your oven, and then you're going to spray the half-pint jars with nonstick cooking spray, and you're going to put the jars in the baking pan. Mix up your eggs and put it into the prepared jars. Then you're going to add hot water to the pan to reach halfway up the sides of the jars. It just seemed a little complicated, but now that I'm reading it, it doesn't sound that bad. It's a new one on me, and I think it's a good idea, but it's not without some planning there. It's a quick cook cornbread recipe. Those look good. Making croutons out of cornbread. I'm gonna make that southern salad dish. Really, I mean, that would definitely make it southern, wouldn't it? These are always interesting. They're all numbers. I thought this was, I mean, I know this is not true of me. It, however, may be true of my husband. Americans spend an average of $273 each month on subscription services. But a survey showed no one knew the exact amount they spent, and 66% were off by more than $200. Oh my goodness. Trying to lose weight? You likely need to get 60 minutes more sleep nightly. I'm going to take them up on that. Global Running Day is June 1st. And you don't need to be a marathoner to reap the benefits. Research shows that running just 5 to 10 minutes a day may slash your risk of dying from a heart attack or stroke by as much as 45%. I have a shoe here. 9 pounds per year. Let's wait for the plane to go over. Not getting enough sleep increases levels of, I don't know how to say this, ghrelin, ghrelin, a hormone that regulates hunger. I've never heard of that. To avoid overeating when you're short on sleep, keep a lot of healthy snacks on hand. Here's an interesting number. 60 countries worldwide require some form of travel insurance. This requirement has been added in the pandemic to cover potential medical costs or a quarantine. If you're traveling abroad, check with the State Department for the rules of whatever country you're going to. And then feeling anxious, try yoga. A new study shows that 71% of people with generalized anxiety disorder reported improvement in symptoms after 3 months of doing 2 hours of yoga each week. So that's 71%. That's a large number. Here's a little story about menopause. We have our lady here in a garden watering. Perimenopause is the transitional time 2 to 7 years before menopause, which is defined as when your periods have stopped completely. Not according to my mom. She claims it lasts like 30 years, but I don't know. That's her opinion. And it talks about hair loss. And when your hormones change, you're going to notice a little bit more hair loss. But if you just wait it out and work with it and let your body adjust to its hormonal change, things will even out. You can expect the drop in hormones to impact tear production. It might cause dry eyes. And when the estrogen levels go down, collagen also drops. We all know there's a lot of ways to increase your collagen these days. Sustain eye drops. Oh, look at her beautiful eyes. Beautiful lips. More on our menopause. Changes. Mood. It says get regular sleep. And it says once you get through it, the mood symptoms will even out. You're going to go through a lot of changes. It's like being pregnant. Your hormones are changing. Give it time, and everything should even out for you. Menopause can be a time when you feel you're most confident and empowered, says this doctor. And it says, regarding night sweats, to keep yourself cool by switching sheets in your pajamas to all natural fibers like cotton and linen, 100%, no blends. Or they talk about hormone therapy. You talk to your doctor about that. Look at these hydrangeas. What are they? Endless Summer? That's the brand. EndlessSummerBlooms.com. Bloomstruck. Look at that. I'll bring it up. It's purple, well, like a lilac color, and blue. And Summer Crush. Look at the different tones of that. And the original. I have one that looks like this. It doesn't have any flowers on it yet. It's alive. I just saw it today. It's doing all right. My brother bought it for me. All right, this is about dogs and fireworks, which we just had a situation yesterday with my son's dog. He's terrified of fireworks. Warm weather and seasonal celebrations can bring stressors and hazards for dogs and cats. And they talk about storms and fireworks with the change in the barometric pressure of storms. And it says just be prepared. Set up a yoga mat or comfy throw rug to create a safe space where your pet can retreat during the fireworks or when thunderstorms come. Put their favorite treats and a toy that they have a positive association with in that little safe space. And you can always talk to your vet about maybe, giving them a little pill to get through it if it's that bad. It can get pretty bad with the fireworks where I live. I'm hoping it doesn't this year, but I don't know. It can get pretty excessive. And they talk about being careful around pools and lakes, Not all dogs know how to swim, and pools can be especially dangerous because dogs can't hang on or use a ladder to climb out. I mean, obviously. Monitor dogs closely around water. If your dogs are not attracted to water, don't force it. But teaching them how to swim is an option. You can put a harness on them. That's a good idea. In case something happened, you could get them out. They have a little blip here about hot pavement, about burning the pads on paws. If you can't comfortably hold your own hand on the pavement, it's too hot for your dog. So walk on the grass or sole. And keep pets away from the barbecue grill. And they suggest you using a baby gate. I can't imagine if we had a grill around my son's dog, especially a younger dog. He would just go crazy. Certain summer foods are dangerous for dogs and cats. Corn on the cob, onions, garlic, meat gristle, and bones. Obviously, they can choke on them. Oh, this is a good idea. If you have a weighted blanket around, it might be, even though it's summer, they might feel very cozy wrapped up inside that weighted blanket. If you're having a hard time, it would be worth a try. I know a lot of people have those. I have one that I never even took out of the package. Because to be honest with you, I don't know how I'm going to wash it. I'm scared to wash it in my old washing machine. I just think that it will be so heavy that it will break it. I don't feel like dealing with it. I'll give it to somebody. It's all wrapped up. My husband meant well, but, what are you going to do? We have a blue, just blue, not blue buffalo anymore, a blue ad. And this is Amber Mayfield. Here's a beautiful drawing of her. What is the object of Amber's affection? Her cast iron pans, because they remind her of her grandma. They were the first things she bought for her own kitchen in the hopes that she would recreate grandma's cooking. This is her favorite pantry find. It is Capital City Mambo sauce, and it's spicy sweet. And it's at capitalcity.com. You can use it as a sauce. You can use it as a marinade. And this is her latest favorite. I believe in the make one dish entertaining rule for stress-free hosting. I cook one special dish, and tap friends or local restaurants for the sides and desserts. That is a good idea. And she is a New York-based entrepreneur. And her company is To Be Hosted, and it is an events and media company out of New York City. And she is writing a book. And she says, cheers to lemonade. You can't go wrong with lemonade. I add lots of fresh lemon and lime slices. And for a fancier cocktail version, she adds lavender, which we saw earlier in the magazine. A lavender simple syrup, lavender sprigs, and vodka. What's her go-to party dish? Well, I've made something like this. Grilled corn, it's a salad, grilled corn, black-eyed peas, cherry tomatoes, avocados, and red wine vinaigrette. It tastes like summer. It sure does sound like it would, and you can add chicken if you want to make it a meal. There's Olay with collagen, healthier looking skin in just 14 days. They don't give a guarantee. It is a collagen plus vitamin B3 complex. And here's a Neutrogena ad. And they are making some claims here too, but I don't see a guarantee. But you could try it if you want. I don't know how expensive it is. Rapid wrinkle repair. Pure retinol. Luxurious texture. Thank you for spending some time with me today on a holiday weekend. I hope you're having a good weekend, getting some rest, or getting something done, or some combination thereof. I just hope you're well, and I really appreciate you